Fight off. To resist or defend against an infection or illness. Synonym for fight off. Resist, defend against, repel, combat, ward off, battle. With a strong immune response, the body can fight off many common infections. She took herbal supplements to help her body fight off the cold virus. A strong immune system helps the body fight off various diseases. Run its course. To progress naturally until completion, often used in the context of an illness. Synonym for run its course. Progress naturally, develop, evolve, proceed, advance, continue. The common cold usually runs its course within a week. The stomach bug will run its course, but in the meantime, make sure to stay hydrated. Unfortunately, there's no cure for the common cold. You just have to let it run its course. Come down with. To become ill or contract a disease. Synonym for come down with. Contract, fall ill with, develop, catch, acquire, be afflicted with. She came down with a severe case of the flu after being exposed to the virus. She came down with a severe case of food poisoning after eating contaminated seafood. After being exposed to the flu virus, he started to come down with a high fever and body aches. Look into. To investigate or examine a health issue or medical condition. Synonym for look into. Investigate, examine, probe, explore, study, scrutinize. The doctor promised to look into the patient's symptoms and conduct further tests for a diagnosis. The doctor will look into the cause of your persistent symptoms. Researchers are looking into potential treatments for the rare genetic disorder. Hold off. To delay or prevent the onset of something, like symptoms or illness. Synonym for hold off. Delay, postpone, stall, put off, halt, procrastinate. Regular exercise can help hold off certain health problems. The doctor prescribed medication to hold off the progression of the disease until a definitive treatment could be found. She hoped that a healthy lifestyle would hold off the development of chronic conditions in the future. Ward off. To protect against or try to prevent an illness or danger. Synonym for ward off. Fend off, repel, keep at bay, prevent, deter, thwart. The vaccination helped ward off the flu virus during flu season. Eating a balanced diet can help ward off many health issues. Eating a balanced diet and exercising regularly can help ward off many common illnesses. Breakdown. To analyze or understand the components of a disease or medical condition. Synonym for breakdown. Analyze, decompose, disintegrate, resolve, examine, deconstruct. Researchers are trying to break down the genetic mechanisms behind the disease. The medical team worked tirelessly to break down the complex disease process into understandable terms for the patient. Researchers are working to break down the genetic factors of certain diseases. Build up immunity. To develop resistance to a specific disease through exposure or vaccination. Synonym 4. Build up immunity. Develop resistance, strengthen immunity, boost immunity, acquire immunity, enhance resistance, fortify immunity. Vaccination programs aim to build up immunity in the population against preventable diseases. Vaccines help individuals build up immunity to prevent certain illnesses. Exposure to various pathogens helps build up immunity against future infections. Screen 4. To test or examine individuals for the presence of a specific disease or condition. Synonym 4. Screen 4. Test for, check for, assess for, evaluate for, examine for, scan for. The clinic screens for various types of cancer during their annual health fair. Doctors recommend screening for cardiovascular risk factors during routine checkups. Regular screenings are important to screen for early signs of certain cancers. Rule out. To eliminate or exclude a possibility, often used in the diagnostic process. Synonym 4. Rule out. Exclude, eliminate, dismiss, discard, reject, disregard. After conducting several tests, the doctor was able to rule out the possibility of a bacterial infection. The doctor will perform tests to rule out any serious health conditions. The imaging results help to rule out any structural abnormalities in the patient's brain. Come through. To recover from an illness or surgery successfully. Synonym 4. Come through. Recover, survive, pull through, overcome, weather, persevere. With proper treatment, he is expected to come through the surgery well. With proper medical care and rehabilitation, he's expected to come through this challenging period of illness. Despite the seriousness of the surgery, she managed to come through with flying colors and made a full recovery. Cut down on. To reduce the consumption of something, often related to unhealthy habits. Synonym 4. Cut down on. Reduce, decrease, minimize, diminish, lower, scale back. The doctor advised him to cut down on his intake of sugary drinks. She decided to cut down on smoking to reduce her risk of developing lung cancer. The doctor advised him to cut down on his intake of sugary drinks to improve his dental health. Live with. To cope or manage a chronic illness or condition. Synonym 4. Live with. Cope with, manage, deal with, handle, endure, tolerate. Despite her chronic condition, she has learned to live with it and maintain a high quality of life. Learning to live with diabetes requires careful monitoring of blood sugar levels. He was diagnosed with diabetes, but has found ways to live with the condition through diet and exercise. Treat 4. To provide medical care or therapy for a specific disease or condition. Synonym 4. Treat 4. Provide treatment for, administer therapy for, care for, address, manage, attend to. They treated him for severe dehydration with intravenous fluids and electrolytes. The doctor decided to treat the patient for bacterial pneumonia with a course of antibiotics. The doctor will treat for the infection with a course of antibiotics. Ease off. To decrease in intensity, often referring to symptoms or pain. Synonym for ease off. Diminish, decrease, subside, lessen, alleviate, abate. As the inflammation subsided, the swelling in his joints started to ease off. After taking pain medication, the intensity of her headache began to ease off. The medication helped ease off the severity of her migraines. Bring down. To reduce the severity or level of symptoms or a condition. Synonym for bring down. Reduce, lower, diminish, decrease, alleviate, mitigate. With proper treatment, they were able to bring down his dangerously high blood pressure. The medication is designed to bring down high blood pressure. The medication helped bring down the patient's high fever within a few hours. Check up on. To monitor or assess the progress of a patient's health. Synonym for check up on. Monitor, follow up on, assess, review, inspect, examine. The nurse regularly checks up on the patient to ensure they're comfortable and their needs are met. After surgery, the doctor will check up on the patient's progress to monitor healing. The nurse will check up on the patient regularly to ensure recovery. Relieve symptoms. To alleviate or reduce the signs of illness or discomfort. Synonym for relieve symptoms. Alleviate symptoms, ease symptoms, reduce symptoms, lessen symptoms, treat symptoms, palliate symptoms. Over-the-counter medications can help relieve symptoms of the common cold. The new medication was designed to relieve symptoms associated with the common cold, providing relief from congestion, coughing, and sore throat. The doctor prescribed a series of exercises to relieve symptoms of lower back pain, aiming to improve flexibility and strengthen the muscles supporting the spine. Clear up. To resolve or improve, often used when referring to the disappearance of symptoms. Synonym for clear up. Resolve, improve, vanish, disappear, ameliorate, alleviate. After starting treatment, the rash began to clear up within a few days. With the right antibiotic, the infection should clear up within a week. With proper treatment, the skin infection should clear up within a week. Check in. To register upon arrival at a healthcare facility. Synonym for check in. Register, report, sign in, enroll, log in, record attendance. Patients are required to check in at the reception desk before seeing the doctor. After completing the paperwork, she went to the front desk to check in for her appointment. Patients need to check in at the reception before seeing the doctor. Fill out. To complete a form with personal or medical information. Synonym for fill out. Complete, fill in, answer, supply, populate, accomplish. Please fill out this form before your appointment. Please fill out this form with your medical history and current symptoms. After arriving at the hospital, she had to fill out several forms before seeing the doctor. Look after. To take care of someone who is ill or in need of assistance. Synonym for. Look after. Care for, attend to, nurse, tend to, watch over, take care of. The home health care nurse visits regularly to look after the elderly patient's needs. She took a few days off work to look after her sick child at home. The nurse looks after the elderly patients in the nursing home. Bring in. To take someone to a healthcare facility for treatment. Synonym for. Bring in. Take to, escort to, transport to, convey to, deliver to, transfer to. The family decided to bring in their child to the emergency room. She decided to bring in her elderly relative to the hospital for a thorough medical evaluation. The paramedics brought in the injured hiker for treatment at the emergency room. Follow up. To monitor the progress of a patient's recovery after initial treatment. Synonym for. Follow up. Monitor, track, pursue, review, attend to, keep tabs on. The doctor will schedule a follow-up appointment to assess your condition. The doctor scheduled a follow-up appointment to assess the patient's progress after surgery. Nurses conduct follow-up calls to check on discharged patients and address any concerns. Check up on. To inquire about someone's well-being or health. Synonym for. Check up on. Inquire about, follow up with, monitor, look into, investigate, keep an eye on. I'll swing by your house later to check up on you and bring some soup. Friends often check up on each other during times of illness. After his surgery, his friends called to check up on him and see how he was feeling. Rule out. To eliminate or exclude a possibility during the diagnostic process. Synonym for. Rule out. Exclude, eliminate, dismiss, disregard, discard, reject. The doctor decided to rule out allergies as the cause of the patient's symptoms through allergy testing. The tests helped to rule out the possibility of a bacterial infection, narrowing down the potential causes of the illness. The doctor will perform tests to rule out specific medical conditions. Treat for. To provide medical care or therapy for a specific illness or condition. Synonym for. Treat for. Provide care for, administer treatment for, address, manage, deal with, attend to. Given the severity of the symptoms, the medical team decided to treat the patient for sepsis. The healthcare team will treat for the infection with antibiotics. The physician prescribed antibiotics to treat the patient for a suspected bacterial infection. Cut back on. To reduce the amount or frequency of a medication or treatment. Synonym for. Cut back on. Reduce, decrease, scale down, minimize, diminish, lower. The doctor advised the patient to cut back on painkillers to avoid side effects. She decided to cut back on caffeine to alleviate her insomnia. The doctor advised him to cut back on his pain medication to reduce the risk of dependence. Recover from. To regain health and well-being after an illness or surgery. Synonym for. Recover from. Recuperate from, heal from, bounce back from, regain health after, overcome, get over. It took several weeks to fully recover from the surgery. After a few weeks of rest and physical therapy, she began to recover from her sports injury. With proper medical care, most patients can recover from pneumonia within a few weeks. Wean off. To gradually reduce a patient's dependence on a medication or treatment. Synonym for wean off. Gradually reduce, withdraw from, detoxify from, taper off, decrease dependency on, phase out. She's been weaning off her pain medication under medical supervision to avoid rebound pain. The doctor decided to wean the patient off the medication over time. The doctor recommended gradually weaning off the antidepressant medication to minimize withdrawal symptoms. Set up. To arrange or establish a healthcare appointment or service. Synonym for set up. Arrange, establish, organize, schedule, plan, coordinate. I'll call to set up an appointment with the specialist for further evaluation. The hospital staff set up a series of follow-up appointments for the patient before discharge. The receptionist will set up your next appointment with the specialist. Opt for. To choose a particular treatment or healthcare option. Synonym for opt for. Choose, select, decide on, elect, prefer, go for. Some patients may opt for alternative therapies alongside traditional treatments. After considering the options, she decided to opt for physical therapy instead of surgery. He opted for a more conservative treatment approach, choosing acupuncture over medication. Sign off on. To approve or authorize a medical procedure or treatment plan. Synonym for sign off on. Approve, authorize, endorse, ratify, validate, confirm. The surgeon will sign off on the patient's surgery after reviewing the case. The surgeon signed off on the patient's discharge papers after ensuring a smooth recovery. The ethics committee needs to sign off on the proposed research study before it can proceed. You can find playlists for various languages in the video description. To practice the vocabulary, you are encouraged to explore our various apps. Links to these are also included in the description. If you found something new or interesting, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section and provide your valuable feedback. And please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more educational content.